Hello and welcome back on our channel. So in our today's video, we are going to read an important article from the Hindu newspaper editorial section. And our today's video, the title for this video will be the era of an unemployed India. So this article is talking about the unemployment situation of India. So now let's reading this article and try to understand what has been written here, what has been said here. There are many index of proof that seriously contradict the tall claims of employment generation in India. So as uh, and this writer have been talking that there are so many indices of, however government has claiming that they have increased lot, they have generated lots of jobs and employment chances in our country, but there are lots of indices which shows that no, there are still a problem of unemployment and lots of people are struggling for getting a decent job. So now let's read this article in detail and try to understand. Report on and the visual of the recent agitation by railway job application reveal a widespread problem of massive job insecurity among India's youth. So as in the recent just 1.5 month before, railway job applicants were doing a very did a very mass protest. Even they have also burned their train coaches also in the Bihar. So that's why we have seen lots of visuals that how people are struggling for the job, for a secure job, and they were just struggling for that when government will conduct the exam. And so that's why different type of reports have been come, because this exam has been pending from since last 3 to 4 years. So that's why alarming figures of unemployment have been recurrent even before the huge dislocation unleashed by lockdown imposed in 2020-21 in the wake of the COVID pandemic. So as this type of alarming figures like this is a very a caution for India that in India there is a problem of unemployment. And how now we can say that we are struggling because of COVID pandemic since last 2 years. That's why we are facing this type of problem. But currently uh, this problem is not only because of a lockdown. Even before the lockdown, before the COVID pandemic, the problem of unemployment was already there. Much before the pandemic, the National Sample Survey Office reported a 6.1% unemployment rate in 2017-18, the worst in over 4 decades. So before the pandemic, National Sample Survey Office, which is a government body, and which has reported that now unemployment rate in India is now 6.1% during the period of time 2017-18, and it was the worst in the last 40 years in the four decades. It means from the 1977 to 2017, in the at that time the unemployment rate was 6.1%. It was the worst. The picture has proved more dismal in the ensuing months since April May of 2020, and this picture didn't improve, even was going worse around a period of time April and May. The unemployment rate was increasing. For instance, if we talk about in December 2021, the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy estimated that nearly 53 million Indians were unemployed, a large proportion of whom were women. So, for instance, if we talk about then Center Monitoring in Indian Economy have done an estimation in December 2021 that now around 53 million Indians were unemployed at that time, since just it is the recent figure, and half of this amount is the large proportion of this also women who are unemployed. So as the large proportion like 53 million, so you can understand um, how much people are unemployed. And this unemployment rate was reached at the 7.9 versus nearly 8% in December 2021. And though there has been some talk of a dip in employment in January, the figure still stands at a worrying 6.5%. So, however, as COVID pandemic is over, so this figure has been decreased by 1.5%, around 1.4%, and it reaches around 6.5% the unemployment rate. However, it is very high in the sense last 4 decades. So that's why it is a very alarming situation that how how is the worsened situation for the youth, for the people who are unemployed, exposing claims. So now here is talking about the claims of government. Percentage and data spun out by governmental agencies and policy think tanks are open to contestants, but there are other indices of proof that seriously contradict the tall claims of employment generation. So, however, as the government have given the different type of percentage and data that how unemployment employment have been given, so that's why an unemployment rate has been decreased, and different type of policy have been given so that they are generating lots of employees. But there are different other indices also, other researches also, which indicates which are opposite to the government's claim, to this government's percentage. And that these indices expose that there are lots of unemployment in India, and there are the and which are the against the claims of employment generation of the government. One such index is the downward pressure unleashed by the influx of overqualified youth aspiring for middle and lower rung government job. Uh, so one such index, like from this index, we now writer is talking about one. Writer is talking about one index from it, and which is talking about that. Overqualified, like now for the government job, simply it means that for a middle and lower level government job, now overqualified people are applying for them, and it is increasing very rapidly. So now if for government job that only require 12 pass, but now for that job engineering mbas and mbbs people are applying, and this amount is increasing very rapidly. So that's why it is showing that how much government the situation of unemployment is increasing, which despite their modest pay, however these job doesn't pay more, but overqualified people, who people who has more qualification than and deserve more better job, but are applying for these type of job, and highly coveted given the greater job security ascribed to them. And that's why they are going for this job, that they may get a secure job, because the condition of employment is not very good in India. Expectedly then, having advertised over 35,000 posts, the Railway Recruitment Board was swamped with over 1.25 crore application. So now if we talk about from an example here, when railway have given an advertisement that now they will have 35,000 posts and they will recruit for this, but after that around 1.25 crore application they have received only for 35,000 posts. So you can now imagine how much people are applying for, like 1.25 crore. It is equivalence, it even more, lots of countries doesn't have the population equivalent to 1.25 crore people. and a lot of proportion which were postgraduate degree holders, and the 1.25 crore lots of people who have applied, they were a postgraduate degree holder. And however these posts are just most of the posts was limited to 12th pass people. So that's why, because of it created a massive insecurity among those section of people who were just matching the minimum eligibility criteria, but now they will have to fight with overqualified people, and they were being forced to compete with those candidates who are having higher educational qualification. So like simply a person who is have only 12th, but now he will have to face with a postgraduate person. So that's why that type of protest also emerged in the Bihar during the railway board related to that vacancy, with government job being limited and reducing in number due to the contractualization and outsourcing of several substantive post, intense competition persist across various category of job. So however, now government jobs are very limited because they have because from now government has contracting giving contract to different vendors, so they are contractualizing and outsourcing different type of posts. So that's why there is a lots of government jobs have become just a contract job or a private job. That's why there are the less number of uh, posts available. And apart from this, there is an intense competition because now people are getting more qualified, as literacy rate is being increasing, and people are getting more qualification, and jobs are limited, jobs are size is shrinking. So that's why, and it is across the various categories of jobs in all type of industries. A point brought to light yet again, but we can do this by because the railway recruitment controversy that happened recently. So that's why editor is giving the more focus to that problem, because by that problem we can understand all of this employment situation in country in very much detail, as clarified by the railway recruitment board and union railway minister for the second stage of testing, that stock protest. So the protest which was for the second stage of testing, because the first phase have been happened for this exam. So they have started protest for the second stage. A huge number of aspirants for the lowest right up to the highest level of chaos advertised eventually compelled the authorities to shortlist 20 times the number of candidates for all levels. So for that job, there were authorities have been said now they will consider 20 times the number of candidates for one job. So if there are the one job, so they will consider 20 candidates for that position for the second round, because in the second round there are lots of candidates will be also shortlisted, and very less candidates will be reached of the final round. So that's why it has been happened in the most of the posts. But and explaining the scramble, so now why it is all happening? Shockingly, advertisement for even a handful of lower rung government jobs attract an overwhelming number of applications, leading at times to the withdrawal of such advertisement. However, if you will see that lots of time government bodies have also withdraw their advertisement just only because they are offering a job, but more than expected and more than like unlimited number of people applying for these jobs. So that's why the government body is not able to hold these type of exam, and they have to withdraw these type of vacancies. So for this, in September 2001, news reports highlighted that among 80,000 applicants for some 42 posts, peon, gardener, cook, in the Himachal Pradesh Secretariat, there were hundreds of doctorate and other postgraduate applicants. So if we will talk about, you can see there for the, so here in the Himachal Pradesh, they have given only 42 posts for the peon and gardener and cook, but around 18,000 application was received. But the thing was to be noted that hundreds of doctorate and postgraduate application also applicants also applied for these type of posts. And earlier in the March 21, more than 27,000 candidates with degrees such as BA, BSc, MA, MSc, MCom, MB Engineering, etc. had applied for 13th position for a peon's job in Panipat District Court. So you can see that like for the peon's post, MBA, MCom Engineering people are applying, and for the 13th post 27,000. Likewise, for 62 posts of messengers in the Uttar Pradesh Police in August 2018, there were a total of 93,000 applicants. 700 were PhD holders and 50,000 were graduates. This particular job vacancy required an educational level of class 5th, and the selection criteria comprised a self-declaration that candidates knew how to ride a bicycle. So now you can see that what is the situation where the just educational level is class 5th, and he just know to how to drive a bicycle. But in that particular job, lots of people are PhD holders, graduates are applying for these type of jobs. So you can understand what is the situation of employment in India, how much people are desperate for the job. So it was all in this video. I hope you have liked this. We will be meeting in the next video. Till watching my channel, subscribe the video, subscribe the channel, like this video and share it.